Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me on this rainy Tuesday morning in Rhode Island here for a quick episode. Just have a few things that I was going to touch on, some pickups that have come in, a couple newer ones and a couple older ones that I just haven't processed yet. And then I figured I'd rip a couple packs of cards maybe, a baseball pack and a hockey pack, kill a little bit of time before work here. But before I get to any of that, I just wanted to briefly touch on my promise to show a new Alex Ovechkin hockey card on the channel every time he scores in the 2021-22 NHL season here as he approaches the all-time greats in goal scoring. And he has been on fire since I checked in last on this. He played 2 games since I last showed a card. There was a matinee on Saturday against the Calgary Flames, and he did score in that game. And so for that goal, I chose this O-Pee-Chee Retro Parallel. So this is kind of neat. They do these every year in the O-Pee-Chee hockey set. They look different every year. This particular parallel isn't based on any actual, NHL design of the past. This is from the 2015 release, but it's neat because this is actually the box bottom that was cut out of an O-Pee-Chee hobby box or blaster box. I believe it was hobby box. So I love box bottom cards, and I just thought this was a really nice looking one. I actually have another nice hockey O-Pee-Chee box bottom coming in the near future for another guy that I collect. That'll be on the channel soon. But for now, to commemorate his 5th goal of the year in his 5th game of the year, we have that 2015 retro box bottom. And then last night, he played the Ottawa Senators. The Capitals played the Senators up in Ottawa, and he lit the lamp twice more. It's just astounding. So he is now sitting at 7 goals scored in 6 games for the Capitals. So just unbelievable to see him, depositing the puck in the net at this pace, at this age. But he just continues to get it done. So I had 2 that I wanted to show off for last night's 2 goals, and I went with red parallels for both of these to kind of tie them together. The first one is an Artifacts card. So this is a neat one. I enjoy the Artifacts set. It's not among my favorite, hockey sets by any means. This is from the 2013 release, so it's about 8 years old now. And I was drawn to this on ComC just because it is they actually call it the Ruby parallel, but the red or the ruby here on the card and the foil just ties so nicely in with the Capitals colors. I love that this features him in that retro sweater. So just a really neat card. Got this for just like $1 or $2 back when you could actually still get nice numbered Ovechkin parallels for $1 or $2. It was probably, wasn't that long ago, maybe a year ago, a year and a half ago. Seems like his stuff is finally starting to get a little bit more expensive now. So that's a nice card, and I'm happy to have that one. And then for the second goal of the night and his 7th of the season, have another red parallel. This one is out of a set that was very short-lived. It was Zenith Hockey, and it's because obviously Panini didn't retain a license very long for NHL trading cards, but this example is another job well done by Panini in my book. It's from their 2010 Zenith set, It's a Z-Team insert, but it is a parallel of the Z-Team insert called Red Hot. And check this thing out. So this is it uses like a red foil element on the card. I don't really know what to liken it to. It seems almost like Dufex treatment, like maybe like the Rink collection or Museum collection parallels from Pinnacle in the 90s. But whatever the technology is, it looks fantastic. And that is a solid addition to the Ovechkin PC there. So 3 nice cards that'll get added to my Z folio as soon as this episode is done. And big congrats to the Great 8 for starting off at this amazing pace here in the 2021 NHL season. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at some pickups here. As I mentioned, some of these are brand new, have come in the past few days. Others have been sitting around a long time waiting to be processed, or at least one has. So here's a brand new one to start us off. The latest addition in my quest to pick up every one of the Cognac Diamond Anniversary retired legends parallels. There are 70 some odd of these between the flagship set and the update set. And for some reason to date, I had never managed to get an Al Kaline. These are getting tough for particular players. Some guys, if you just want a card and you don't really care who the subject is, you can get, certain players for $1 or $2 still, but others, I think with maybe more fan bases or guys that, or collectors that PC them, are a little bit tougher. So I had to pony up $7 here for Al Kaline, but I'm glad to cross his name off the list. I am definitely down now into the single digits of number of Cognac retired cards that I am missing. So I am hopeful that in the winter ahead, I will be able to hammer home these last few and do a completed Cognac retired legends set video at some point. So looking forward to that. Here's a Topps Now UEFA Champions League card. Just grab this one. I'm a sucker for cards that feature awesome trophies on them. I just really enjoy that as a subject matter for my cardboard. And I thought this was a neat Topps Now featuring American star Christian Pulisic, who won the Champions League last season with Chelsea. So this is not a very valuable card. I think, collectors got onto soccer a couple years ago now, and so print runs for things like Topps Now or Panini Instant are a lot higher than they used to be when I first got into soccer cards. So I don't expect that to ever be worth, much more or probably even a lot less than the $5 I paid for it. But just bought that one because aesthetically it'll look really nice in my soccer Z folio. And on that note, while I free these next two cards from their plastic prison here, I did get a comment recently from my buddy Doug at Don't Talk to Robots asking for some info on my Z folios that I use for storing my collection. Up to probably about a dozen of them now. I am planning a video on that, Doug. Just waiting for one of them to get, reasonably full, which I'm getting close on. And then as soon as I have one most of the way full, I will shoot a video and show you what those are all about. All right, this is another pickup here. This was inspired by my hobby buddy Peeps. He did a blaster opening of 2021 Topps Chrome Baseball. And one of the cards that he pulled out of his blaster that he had made note of, and I was very impressed by the photo on, as was he, is this Jazz Chisholm rookie with the Marlins. It's just, to me, as I said, this one is all about the photograph. I just really enjoy the way this was cropped, and it's sort of like an iconic look. You can tell he's, blowing out an exasperated breath of air after just crushing a ball and kind of watching it glide off into the distance. So just a really neat photo on a rookie card of a guy who had a pretty good season as well. So determined that I wanted to try to grab one of these, and I found a seller on Sportlots that had two of them available for just 50 cents a piece. So I thought that was a solid buy. Just going to sleeve these up and stick them in my storage box and kind of see what happens to Jazz over the course of his career. But no matter what, just a neat looking card, aesthetically speaking. I'm glad that I was able to track down a couple copies. Haven't pulled one myself in the small number of Topps Chrome packs that I've opened. So glad I was able to go out and secure a couple of singles. And then the last single card I have for today before we get to those packs is a 1950 Bowman. And it's got some writing here. I believe that's just on the card saver and not the card, but we'll find out. Yep, so this is a 1950 Bowman, Sam Zoldak of the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians. And don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. I don't know Sam intimately as a player, but I have mentioned this before. I absolutely adore all of the early 1950s Bowman cards, especially the 1950 through 52 run with this sort of painted theme. The card sizes are all different. 1950 has these very small square or closer to square sized cards. In 1951, the design is the same, but they became a little bit elongated and they had a black bar with a player name on them. And then in 1952, they were elongated with no black player bar and the facsimile signature. But across all three of those sets, the artwork is very much the same. And This set, 1950 Bowman, represents, the very first set that I ever had an actual vintage card from as a kid. It was a 1950 Maurice McDermott that my dad got me at a local antique shop when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. Treasured and adored that card, still do, and I'm sort of, I say it half-heartedly, but accumulating a 1950 Bowman release as the years tick by. I'm not sure that I'll ever complete that one because, you've got Jackie Robinson, which is probably a couple grand, even in a lower grade. But for now, I just enjoy the ones that I am able to pick up. And I grabbed that Sam Zoldak online quite a while ago now. It may have even been before the pandemic. And if I recall, it was like $4 with free shipping. So just another 50 Bowman to cross off the list. And now let's tear into 2 packs, and we'll call this an episode here. So I've got a 95-96 Upper Deck Series 2 hockey pack here. And what's neat about these, I've talked about this before, I believe. In 1995, Upper Deck had a license for all the major sports, and they used the same simple design that focuses on the full bleed photograph across all sports. So it's really neat to me that if you were a collector in 1995, you could get your football star in this design of your team of choice, your hockey player, and your favorite baseball guy, all on exactly the same or very similar design. I really miss that about collecting cards, that sort of cross-sport mentality for sets, but maybe we'll see that again in the days of Fanatics, and that could be a small silver lining to the end of Topps, or the upcoming demise of Topps. Just separating these a little bit, tend to get some stickage on this. All right, so here is the 1 per pack Electric Ice parallel, and these are very easy to identify. They have Electric Ice written in silver foil along the side of the card, and they're also done in silver foil in terms of the player name. I have Joel Otto here of the Flyers. Shout out to my buddy Brian at Walkenbach. The regular base cards look the same, but they use gold foil. So here's a Kevin Hatcher with a broken nose, it looks like, for the Dallas Stars. Longtime NHL defenseman Sean McEachern of the Boston Bruins, speeding after the puck here. Nice shot. Maybe Ray Bourque in the background there. Can't exactly tell. There's a Mark Fitzpatrick. Awesome photo here. Puck just glancing off his glove. Seems like he's going to make the save there. If I already have a copy of this, I'll definitely set this dupe aside and send it to one of my goalie collecting buddies. Here's a name from the past, Jeremy Roenick. Definitely a member of the Hall of Very Good. Recently sort of stepped in it and fell victim to cancel culture and ruined his broadcasting career, but as a player, a member of the Hall of Very Good. Next up, we got Brian Smolinski of the Pens. And I'll show the back on just this one card, but it's really nice that Upper Deck treated us to a very large and separate photo on the back of the card in 95. I wish Panini would take note of that. Here's what's likely to be my favorite card of the pack, Robert Cron of my hometown Hartford Whalers. Nothing wrong with pulling a Whalers card, even here in 2021. Here's a Michael Nylander with the Flames. He is stuck to a Daniel Corso. Do not recognize him. This is one of those Team Canada Program of Excellence subset cards, not an insert, just a subset in the base set. Same with this one. This is a World Junior Championships card of the U.S. Chris Drury. So that's a neat one. He went on to have a pretty successful career in the NHL. There's another World Juniors for Finland, Mika Elomo. Don't know him, fairly confident he never made the show. And then last but not least, we have an Andrei Vasilyev sporting the Gordon's Fisherman Islanders sweaters from back in the day. Check that out. Some of the most, you either love them or you hate them, but I hear a lot of people that hate them and hear a lot of people that love them as well. So I'm not really entirely sure how I feel about those, but let's do one more pack here. 2021 Topps Stadium Club Baseball. This will be really quick because it's just a 5-card retail pack, but I've done incredibly well with this retail box. I am very glad that I chose retail over hobby because I'm really just trying to build the set. Don't care much about hits, and I have pulled numerous serial numbered cards as well as including a Ke'Bryan Hayes orange chrome refractor, which is a nice card. So here's a Keegan Aiken rookie for the Baltimore Orioles. Nice photograph there, as you would expect from Stadium Club. We got a red Randy Johnson. Another nice photo there. The picture photos really work well in horizontal format here in Stadium Club. Apologies to my buddy Eric at those back pages, who I know generally detests horizontal cards. There's a Kyle Schwarber, who just had a pretty big year for the the Red Sox, really, towards the end. And actually read an article the other day about the Red Sox and that they'll have an impending choice here between J.D. Martinez and Kyle Schwarber in terms of who to retain for next year. No offense to Kyle, but I certainly hope they choose JD if it comes down to that. Here's a John Means. So a couple Orioles pitchers in this pack. And then we close out with my favorite photo of the bunch, a nice Thurman Munson base card here. So great shot there of the Yankee backstop. So that's all for today. This turned into a little bit longer one, so I appreciate you sticking with me for a little bit longer than usual. Hope everybody's week is off to a good start. Hope everyone is enjoying the hobby, staying safe, and I will certainly be back in the near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care.